Hi, in this video, we are going to cover a short demonstration on how to use the serial to TCP client module to convert a serial driver into a TCP client driver. Alright. First thing, we have to insert a Q unit into the system. As per all our demonstration previously, we insert UniQ7 into the system. What we are going to do next is that we are going to insert a device driver into the system, and the device driver we are going to insert is the serial to TCP IP client, the TCP client converter. Drag and drop this into the system and convert the TCP IP client connector to the TCP client port. Note that we can connect up to a maximum of 32 TCP client connector as indicated by the number here. Alright, next we are going to create a serial driver to actually communicate with the TCP IP client. Right click, create device. To test it, what we are going to do is that we are going to create a simple serial client to we are going to create a simple serial driver to actually connect to the TCP IP client converter module. Alright, so I call the new driver demo, manufacturer demo, serial IP. Alright, so the name of the driver is the demo serial IP. The type of the equipment could be an audio mixer, connection by serial. Okay, I don't need to care about the baud rate, but however, the driver should be, usually the internal workings of such a driver is that the driver will work for the serial port of the device to be controlled, and that device might have an IP interface that uses the same command as a serial. So in this case, we would do the programming using the TCP client connect. We will do programming using the serial to TCP IP client connector. Alright, so we will do the setting here, and we will do a very simple command. Right, global. We will insert a new command. Right click, insert code unit, insert a function test. Call the function test and set it as a global function. Okay. Alright, so what we'll do next is that copy the serial connector. Alright, in order for IntelliSense to work in this module, you have to drag and drop the module into the system first. So we select configuration window and we drag and drop the new demo serial IP into the system and connect it to the serial port behind. Alright, behind the converter. Alright, so this way when you dot it, you will have all the commands available. Alright, first thing we'll do is that we'll do a send. Alright, the data to send has to be in byte string. Alright, and maybe we send a command called testing. Next, alright, next we declare a variable called receive, or we call the variable data as byte string of size 128, and serial connector dot we backtrack. Okay, after doing a send command, what I'll do is that I'll insert a variable called mdata as byte string. The size of it is 128, and I'll do a if statement if serial connector dot receive mdata, and I'll put in a timeout, maybe within 0.2 seconds. Then if data comes back, I will debug print the information into the debug window. Alright, I've created a very simple function called test Okay, and then I'll send testing, and I'll expect a receive data from the system. Alright, next, what I will do next is that I'll need to create a simple interface. Go to Windows, Touch Panel 1 Windows. Okay, under My Project Resources Graphic Collection, Insert, Container Navigation, and Insert buttons. Alright, I'll create a simple window, full screen window, double click on it. On the button, I'll insert a push button. Okay, this push button will be linked. Okay, we'll link this push button to the command. Okay, under Audio Mixer, we'll link it to the test command. Alright, and before I can go further, go to Touch Panel 1, Main, Auto Execute, Show Object, the full screen window 1. And then I'll debug. Alright, click on it. There's no messages coming back. Why? Because I will need, for this configuration to work, I'll need a server to be connected, accepting commands from this TCP IP connector. And the IP address of the server is as follows. Alright, so to test the system, what I can do is that I will create a loopback address, which is the IP address of 127.0.0.1, which is actually a loopback address, meaning that this IP address will be belonging to my laptop. Alright, and the TCP port that I'll be using may be 8000. Alright, and what I'll do next is that I'll run a simple program called Hercules. This is a freeware that's available over the internet. Alright, and it allows me to host a TCP server. Alright, so if I click on TCP server tab, I will put in the port 8000 and listen. Alright, so what happens is that in the server setting here, I've actually set the server to echo the data that I received back to the sender. Alright, so after doing that, stop it and start again. Alright, I have the button here and the server here. When I click on it, as you can see, there's data coming into the system, and because there's echo, I will receive a feedback coming back from the touch panel. Sorry, coming back from the debug print message here. Alright, so with this, I have successfully written a TCP IP driver that is sending data to myself. So as you can see here, there's three testing data, and when you see here, 3 series of testing messages appearing. Alright, sorry, to configure the IP address of the TCP IP client connector, you have to change the setting here. Alright, as I've done it just now, I've changed the setting to local and the TCP port 8000. That's why at the server side, I have to also use back the port 8000. Alright, in order to find any errors, if there's any errors going into this, if there's any errors, alright, generated from the system, you can actually handle it on the error event. Alright, to actually detect errors and handle errors if necessary. Or you can also handle on connection. Alright, so what we can do is that we can do a debug print connected, and we can also do a debug print format for TCP error with the error number. So as you can see here, it's connected. So what happens is that if I close the port, alright, for whatever reason, and when I try to send, there will be a certain timeout session, alright, when you try to send. Alright, as you can see here, TCP error 94. Alright, so if you want to know what's the error, you can go to help, content, look for commands, look for errors, look for 94. So 94 is that channel cannot connect to server in a timeout. This means that the server is offline, so you cannot connect to the server. Alright, so if once you enable back and you try to do a button press again, alright, the connection will be resumed. Alright. With this, I will end the short video on serial to TCP client connector. Do download this project file and the module from our website if you want to use it. Thank you. Goodbye.